Okay. There's nobody here. There's three people here. I wonder who those three people are. There's not many of you that will be in here because, according to my Patreon account, I only have about five or six at the $10 or $25 um, range. So we can get intimately acquainted if you would like that. Or we can sit here and you can ask questions and I will answer to the best of my ability. Um, my goal for these live streams is to build the $10, $20 tier, $25 tier to a point that I can build a community in here and have people excited to come to the live stream every month and ask me questions or just talk and debrief and chat. And to me, like, I'm thinking of this of like I have my YouTube audience and slash Instagram slash whatever audience, and then a slightly shrunk down version of that audience is Patreon supporters, and then even more shrunk down is like the top two tiers of Patreon, which then obviously become hopefully become like a more close community where I know the people a little bit more personally. Um, I don't have to know them like on a personal level, but like I recognize names, I see comments, I recognize when someone's sending me a message on Instagram rather than just in the sea of other messages, or commenting on a YouTube video, or this sort of thing. And then I do my best. I'm going to do my best to try to help out any of these top tier patrons if they're coming to Albania for some reason. Maybe we can organize a meal, or just having a coffee, or maybe we can organize a little hike or a trip or something. I could show you around a little bit. That would be fun. But at this point, we're still in the really early stages of developing this whole machine, I suppose, content machine, where I'm trying to put out videos and blog articles and Patreon posts and all of this stuff. And my hope is to build Patreon, and then what little money I make from AdSense on YouTube to then be able to um, make a living, be self-sustaining just in the content that I create, and then the graciousness of those that are um, you know supporting me financially, as any of you watching this are doing. Um, so I spent a lot of time this week thinking about this week and last week, thinking about a better way to plan my content so that I'm not trying to. I used to think of myself as being a really spontaneous person, and that's fun, and I still am spontaneous to a certain extent. But spontaneity does not breed efficiency. So I spent this week figuring out a method and a way of continuing stuff, um, and uh, a method and a way of continuing stuff so that I can be consistent in what I'm uploading. And I'll get to that in a second. Hi, Randy. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. Um, that question: how did I start my residency, and was it difficult to gather paperwork? Um, I had a job lined up before I got here with an Albanian company with a legal office, and so they already knew all of that stuff. So for me personally, I didn't do much. I went with them to the police station. I had to go to the American Embassy to get a background check done, just to make sure I didn't have a criminal record in the US. And I walked into the embassy and the guy was like, here, fill this out and sign it. I'm not going to check it. Just know that if you sign it and you're lying, it's perjury. So I did that, and then I went to the police station and signed some other paperwork, but it was all done through the legal office at my work. So I don't know a lot about that. There are definitely resources. I can send you some resources on how to get started with residency. Um, if my trackpad mouse is working, this thing, the batteries on this die so quickly. I'll send you a message. I'll send you an email, Randy. I'll send you an email with information that I can figure out from uh, how to gather that paperwork. I know of a few resources, websites that will, at least help get the process started, and then give you maybe you can find contacts in there that can better help you in the process. I'm not going to be that helpful in um, that, just because it was more or less done for me. Um, all right, back to, so I spent this week figuring out what kind of how to be more efficient with my time, trying to figure out a process of how to get things done more efficiently and consistently. So my plan is to be posting on my website, my blog, posting an article on the blog once a week on Tuesday evenings here, afternoon if you're in the US, and evenings if you're in Europe. On Tuesdays, I'll post some story, maybe a travel story, maybe just some musings of mine, something that I've been thinking about, um, something like that. And this week, it's the story behind one of my tattoos, the tattoo right here on my chest, which is a dead tree, and it's the story behind that. And then in combination with posting a blog article, the plan is to post a kind of a YouTube video essay to go along with it. That's telling the same story, but not scripted so much. I have an outline in my head of what I need to go over, and then I just kind of do something while I'm discussing this. And so I think the plan for that one, or not the plan, I've already done it. I was walking around my house on Saturday and realized that I needed to repot my Monstera plant. And I thought, instead of just repotting a plant and listening to music, how about I repot the plant and tell a story to my camera? Look like a crazy person standing in my garden, repotting a plant and talking to myself. So that video will also come out on Tuesday in combination with the blog post. That's basically giving the same information across, but it is not. It's giving across the same information, but it's not like word for word the same thing. And then while I'm telling the story, I'm repotting a plant this time. So that's what Tuesdays are going to be. Hopefully, that's the plan. And then Thursdays, my plan is to be uploading more, like focus on YouTube more, and there will be a blog post in combination with that, but it'll be mostly just posting the video on the blog in case the audience there is different than the audience on YouTube. So this week, it will be talking about grocery stores, grocery shopping, how to get food in the supermarket, what supermarkets are here, what to expect in different regions of Albania in terms of um, getting food, buying food on a weekly or daily basis, whatever it may be. And so that'll be Thursday with a little blog post up with it. That's basically, the blog post is just to have my content live somewhere else besides my YouTube channel, because it'll link back to the YouTube video. But some people prefer to read something, some people prefer to watch something or listen to something, and so I felt like if I doubled up on both of those things, it would be more obvious that, or it would expand. It wouldn't be putting all my eggs in one basket. It would be expanding um, my reach to a certain extent. And I realize right now a lot of those people, there'll be a lot of overlap in that, but maybe that'll change in the future. And those things with the blog articles on Tuesdays, it'll probably stay pretty consistently Tuesdays. With the YouTube videos that I'll make on Thursdays, the chances are that it might fluctuate which day it's going to be depending on what's happening. So May 1st is a holiday here, I think in most of Europe, but definitely in Albania. And there's some things that, traditions that they do, places that people will go. and that sort of thing. And May 1st is a Sunday, not a Thursday. And so while I would typically post YouTube videos on Thursday, my plan is on May 1st to be posting a video about the 1st of May holiday on the 1st of May, rather than posting it, a few days before or a few days after, just because it fits better. So that particular week, I wouldn't be posting a video on Thursday. I'd be posting it on that Sunday. And I don't know if any of you care about my posting schedule so much, but I just feel like if this group of Patreon supporters is going to be my inner circle, so to speak, then it gives me someone to talk to about it, even though I'm talking to myself on a computer. Um, and then there comes the Patreon posts, which I didn't want to completely ignore that because I know that some people enjoy that and get value out of those. And so my Patreon posts, my plan is to be posting those on Fridays, and they're going to be basically blog posts, but much shorter. It's going to be at least right now, for the foreseeable future, it'll be a photo from somewhere that I've traveled, sometimes Albania, sometimes out of Albania, something, and then kind of the story behind the photo. But these stories are not going to be as in depth as the blog articles would be. But it's just something nice to, like, it's exclusive for the patrons, the patrons, exclusive for the patrons, for the Patreon supporters. And so that, in addition to the exclusive behind the scenes, close friends stories on Instagram, it it hopefully it will be appreciated, and it gives some kind of it's a way of saying thank you for the support, basically. I had a Patreon for a number of years and was not paying attention to the benefits that were promised in the Patreon, which caused some people to stop paying because I wasn't as active as they thought, which is fine. That's on me. That's their choice. I have no problems with it, but I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be proactive and make sure that I'm giving the people what they ask for, um, or what I promised, giving the people what I promised. So that'll be Thursdays. And so earlier today, I planned out basically what videos and articles and Patreon posts, stories and photos, I think is what I'm calling it, photos and stories, maybe. I planned out what the month of April will look like, which is crazy because that's not something that I typically do. And it's nice because it'll give me time to plan my weeks. So if I know, okay, the video for this week's done, this is what I do want to do next week. This is what I want to do the week after, then I can think, all right, I'll go to this place and film 2 videos in that week. And instead of just kind of decide to go somewhere and think, oh, maybe I should make a video of this somehow. So in that vein, like this week on Wednesday, my plan is to go to Corcho, which is about a 40-minute drive away from where I live in Pogradets. I'm gonna go. There's an indoor climbing gym there, and I'll make a YouTube video at this indoor climbing gym. And um, yeah, I've never been climbing, and climbing is not something that happens in Albania that often. So I thought that it would be fun to do that, and it's a cool video, or hopefully a fun video. It's kind of in my life, and if I hadn't planned that ahead of time, I would be trying to figure out when to go climbing and then edit the video and then put it together. But now I know I want to upload next Thursday. The climbing gym's only open in the evenings on certain days. What the time that works for my friend to go with me is this coming Wednesday. So we'll go Wednesday. I'll film the video, and then it'll be uploaded a week later. Which, people watching the video won't care that it was filmed a week before, because it's not talking about current events. It's just an experience, a daily vlog, if you will. So yeah, that's kind of my thought. That's kind of what my plan is moving forward with this. I hope to do these live streams at the I believe I have the last Sunday of every month at this time at 7 p.m. European time, Central. What is it? Central European summertime, I think is what it is now, since daylight savings happened today here. Um, and so every month we'll do this. Hopefully, over the course of the months, over the course of the weeks, I'll build up the top 2 tiers on Patreon so that by maybe next month or the month after, this group will grow and grow, and then hopefully we can have this whole live stream session every the end of every month, kind of just hanging out, talking about, whatever, talking about the videos that were up earlier, asking questions if people have questions, talking about what videos I have planning on coming up or trips or anything like that. So, that's the hope, that's the plan. I realize that it might seem a bit ridiculous right now to live stream to 3 people, but, you gotta start somewhere, and I don't wanna sit around and wait until I have people before I start. So I felt like if I set up the process and set up my routine and my habits now, then, when this grows, I will, be ready for it. So, um because there's not very many of us, I'm gonna wrap this live stream up. Just a short 15 minutes, and not many people around, not many people know about it because of the exclusivity of this and the higher tiers of my Patreon. But I appreciate you if you've been here. And as always, if you have a message or if you have something to ask, you can send me a message. You can send me an email. You can find me on Instagram. Randy, I will find the stuff now and find your email in Patreon, and I will shoot you an email with any information I can find about starting residency and gathering paperwork. So that's all I have for today. I hope you all have a good Sunday afternoon, evening, morning, wherever it is that you're living, and see you next month.